Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Kyle Hartman Project. I'm so thankful that you guys checked into this episode today. It's been a few weeks since I've put out an episode. Things have just been really busy, so I apologize for not having anything out the last couple weeks. I've been gearing up for the future, so I'm really excited to bring you my very first guest from outside of the US today. So stay tuned. The episode is going to be covering a lot of things that are related to fulfillment. And so, what I want you to keep in mind throughout this episode is how in your life can fulfillment change you and your family? Are you completely fulfilled? Do you feel like you've accomplished everything that you set out to accomplish in life? And if not, how can we start to focus on fulfilling those things that you need fulfilled? So, as you listen through this episode today, that's what I want you to keep in mind. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 21 of the Kyle Hartman Project. Today's guest on the show is coming all the way from England. Nick Gatti is a family man, has a wife, and two beautiful children, which he claimed are his biggest accomplishments. He also has a bachelor's with honors in law, works full-time as a financial consultant, and is passionate about movies and tech, spending time at home with his family, renovating his house, and working on his new vlog. Today, we will discuss many things. What I want you to understand and what I want to highlight is fulfillment. For me, this episode is an incredible moment. Having a live guest on my show all the way from England has given me more inspiration, and I plan to go many places one day. I want my son to see the world, and I wasn't sure how that was going to get accomplished, but this podcast has just been opening doors left and right, and it's very exciting. Networking and making friends such as Nick are proving to be major keys in my life's fulfillment. For Nick, I was so inspired by his story, starting his own journey to vlog, conduct tech reviews, and fulfill a life that he knows him and his family so well deserve. So without further ado, I want to welcome Nick Gatti of That Tech Thing to the project.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much for having me on the show. Honestly, it's a massive pleasure for me as well.
No problem. So I want to dig right in. You're clearly a family man. Every time I see you or watch your videos, I just feel the passion coming behind what you're doing. And one of the things that I want to talk about right away is this new page, this new vlog that you're starting, That Tech Thing. Let's dive right in. What do you have going on with this?
So at the moment, it's still very early days, but I'm pushing with it, trying to make as much of it as I can. My plan was originally that I wanted to start my own YouTube channel really centered around technology, the latest phones, the latest gadgets. It's something that I'm really passionate about. It's something that I've always been into. And basically one day I just thought, well, do you know what? You see these big YouTubers like Unbox Therapy, MKBHD, who not only they're making these videos, but they're making a living off doing these videos. And I just thought, why can't I do it?
Right.
So that's why I started, really.
That's amazing. So yeah, that's I think that's something that's incredible is hearing why people start. I think that it has to just start with something along those lines, though, of, why can't I do that if it's something that you're passionate about? What are some of the common struggles from your point of view, being a father and a husband, still having a full-time career? What are some of the very common struggles that you faced right at the beginning of starting? What could have broke all of this for you at certain times if you didn't just keep persevering?
Probably two things mainly. It was probably money and time, which is obviously what most things revolve around.
Yes.
It was a bit of a struggle at first, and I'll be honest, it still is. Probably from the point of money. I haven't got the money to go out there and buy fancy cameras, fancy computer, or anything like that. Hopefully, I will do at some point. But trying to just get the motivation to do this whole thing. At the moment, as you'll see on my vlogs, I'm doing the whole thing with my iPhone, filming, recording, editing. So that was challenge number one. The other challenge is time, really. As you said, I've got 2 kids, wife. I work 6 days a week, most weeks. Don't get home till 6 o'clock. Now, obviously, I want to spend time with the kids, spend time with the family. So at the moment, it normally means me being up until sort of 2 a.m. editing and filming videos, which is hard when I have to be up the next morning for work. But it's just a case of just keep going on, really. And it's getting easier. I'll be honest, it's getting easier as I go, but it's still quite tough.
What do you do to eliminate making any sort of excuses? I mean, clearly there are excuses that could be made in this situation. What do you do?
Yeah.
I know you said you have a morning routine. I know you dabble with Gary Vaynerchuk a lot. So what are some of the some of the keys for you that get you through these struggles, that tell you, okay, this is going to all be worth it if I just keep going? Where do you get your passion and your excitement from to just keep pushing through all of that?
I think that the thing that gets me to really go is just remembering what the sort of goal is at the end. I know what I want to get out of it, and as you said, it would be easy to make excuses. And sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I really don't. As much as I've got a passion for it, and I love making videos and that sort of thing, sometimes when you get to midnight on a Thursday night and it's been a long week, I really don't feel like staying up till 2 a.m. making videos, doing editing, doing B-roll footage. But the first thing that I do is it's just seeing what I'm visualizing what the end goal is. I know what I want to get out of this, and I know how important it is to me. And even though technology videos isn't necessarily important to my family, I know that what it'll allow me to do in the future will be important to them. The other thing is just planning. I try to just sort of set on my store, know exactly what I've got to do, and tick things off my list as I go. With regards to the morning, as well as obviously Gary Vee, there's another book I've been reading which is called The Miracle Morning, and that is basically just me getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, so an hour earlier than I would normally, and I just have a certain ritual, if you will,
yes,
to do in the morning that just really it gets you going, it gets you in the right frame of mind. So it involves sort of like visualization. So I've got a vision board of things that sort of motivate me. So I've got my family on there. I've got the car that I want. I've got pictures of some YouTubers who I aspire to be, and it's things like that. Just waking up with a positive mental attitude and just sort of trying to persevere as much as possible.
Yeah.
There'll be times, I know that I've had times when I've really not wanted to do it, and I've had times where I've sat there and thought, you know what, this isn't going to work.
Right.
I've just sort of hit a wall, but it's just trying to get those negative thoughts out of my head and just start thinking about the positives.
For anybody out there who is listening and you have thought about an idea, or you've wanted to do something that you see somebody else doing and you're just not sure how to do it, I just want to kind of recap all the things he just mentioned. He does everything from his iPhone, which for a lot of you guys that know me know that I do everything from my Android. So that's one of the things that stuck out to me right away was not only does he have 2 children and a wife, a full-time career, but he is now getting up an hour before his regular work day, working off of his phone, and then he's coming home, hanging out with the kids, finishing work, getting everything, all of his other responsibilities taken care of first, and then he's staying up till 1, 2 in the morning every night to work again from his phone on this passion of his. So I didn't hear any sort of excuses as to why you're not going to make this happen, and that is just so encouraging for me, because that's really all it takes. I mean, anything you guys out there want to accomplish, you are the only thing limiting yourself from doing it. I am inspired by this. Let's talk more about your YouTube page. I know it's new.
Okay.
I want to ask you. So you took this big leap of faith. You're in the thick of it. I think you're really showing how much grit you have. And so one thing with the YouTube page being as new as it is, can you tell anybody that's listening what sort of things started opening up for you once you just started? I mean, have you experienced a lot of that yet, as far as doors opening, just things coming out of nowhere, the universe sort of speaking to you for the work that you're already putting in?
Yeah, I think I have to a degree. Yeah, I mean, I started. I'll be really honest with you, Kyle. The first sort of door that opened was you getting in touch with me as well to do this podcast. I was absolutely made up when that happened, and again, thank you very much for having me on.
No problem.
But yeah, it's just keeping going, really. I mean, I think the other good thing about YouTube, I mean, I put a tweet out there today as well about people maybe helping me with my channel, because what I'm looking to do with my channel as well is just doing tech reviews.
Right.
Is I want to try and for me to grow as well, but also to try and give a little bit back. So the vlogs that I do are also about how to start this tech channel, so people can see things that work. One of the things when I thought, I was a little bit apprehensive about asking at first, because I'm such a small channel. I think I've got 44 subscribers at the moment, but I put it out there to some, much bigger than me YouTubers anyway, to ask if they'd be up for collaborating on a video, or even just sort of helping me out with my channel and giving me some footage for my channel. And the response I got, I was amazed.
Yes.
So I mean, some of the big YouTubers with not millions of viewers or anything like that, but 10, 20,000 subscribers, so that clearly been doing it for a long time.
Right.
And all I had to do was ask.
Yes.
And that amazed me at how many people came back to me.
That's why I asked that question, because it's almost guaranteed, and it's like I almost knew what your answer would be when I asked, just because of how it works. I mean, that is literally how collaborations are. And once you kind of get into this realm of all these people that are doing what they decide they want to do with their life, and they're doing it to the max, and they're happy about it, and they're working hard, like you said, you very rarely get negative answers back when you offer to work with somebody else. Oh, we just dropped the call here. Give me 1 second, folks. Okay, we are back. So we dropped the call. I am not afraid to include that on this episode. I like to keep things raw for you guys. So he is in England. I do have T-Mobile, which isn't super great where I live. And I think I dropped the call. So we're back, though. And what we were talking about was collaborating. I had asked Nick, if any doors had opened from starting, to pursue this passion of his. And he did a great job answering, because it led right into what I thought he would say. And what he said was that as soon as he started reaching out to people in his industry, or people that, he might aspire to be, they were very, very responsive and were very open to working with him. And so I think what you guys need to take away from that is, you can't be scared to talk to people. I know that you said, Nick, that it was an opportunity for you to be asked to be on my show, but what people don't realize is that you actually messaged me first on Twitter, and it was one of the most professional displays I've ever seen to follow your YouTube channel. Because normally I don't like when people just immediately ask me to subscribe without even saying hi, but you did a very good job of culminating all of it into one, and then I immediately checked your stuff out, loved what you had already started to put out. The fact that you put in some of your videos that you were just starting, and you explained what your goals and ideas are. You also touched on what is going to make you different than other tech review shows. And so, of course, I wanted to have you on my podcast.
Thank you.
No problem. So what are your goals? Let's talk a little bit. So the channel is new. I know that you're saying there is going to be some issues with money, which there always is for everybody. So in the meantime, before you can start getting a lot of these pieces of technology to do unboxings with, things like that, have you ever thought about any sort of just creative ideas to maybe have other tech gurus collaborate with you, in the sense of, you guys give each other technology to review back and forth, or is that something that's being already done? I don't know, so I'm curious.
It's not something that I've actually thought of doing anything like that. But it's something I am looking to do, which I've sort of put out there, and I've spoken to a few people only today. Really, is with the vlog part of my channel. As I said, it's about showing my journey, but also showing other people who are looking to start out or maybe grow a quite small channel as to what they can do, but also how other people are doing it. So one of the things that I've looked to do, and I spoke to a few people about today, and said, is I've made a very embarrassing video the other day, which showed me opening a tripod that I'm now using to film my videos.
Yeah.
It also showed the Lego that I was using previously, because you've just got to use what you've got, haven't you? I got a really good response to that.
That's awesome.
And I think people really like to see what other people are using. So what I've spoken to a few people about today is I was after about 5 or 6 people to come on, send me some footage basically of what they use, what kit they use, how they're getting on with their channel, that sort of thing. So that I can use that in my blog, so that I'm not running out of ideas myself as well. But again, I think it's a good insight for other people who are looking to start the channel to see that you don't always need to go and spend $1,000 or £1,000 on a camera. You can use the iPhone. I know somebody else who uses an iPad and edits everything on his iPad. Again, I want people on my vlog who have got nice expensive cameras, but then I also want people on the vlog who are using phones like me, just to show that there is a wide variance of how you can do it. And again, talking about the response I got, I've currently got 15 or 16 other creators who want to get involved with the video. So I'm probably going to end up having to do multiple videos, which is absolutely fantastic for me. But it's just another avenue that I want to explore on the channel.
That's awesome. Yeah. So because I think that you're sort of, I just think that gives you such an edge, because not only are you featuring the latest and greatest technology, but then you're going to feature these individuals as well. And I mean, it's just, everybody's about networking. Everybody is more than happy to get their name out on other platforms. And so I think that's a really great move. I think you kind of have such a good vision for that. And then, like you said, showing the people that it still takes, starting at some point with, just a phone or what have you. When I started the podcast, that was a big fear of mine. But now that I've started the podcast, almost everybody that I've ran into who has started, some form of platform, whether it's audio, written, video, they've all started with little to nothing. And so, and a lot of them are, just levels ahead of where they were when they started. But I think that is one of the biggest keys for everybody out there, is to just know that you have to start somewhere. And if people make you feel bad about it, then you need to change your circle, I think. So that's my take on it.
By all means.
Yeah. So
I think even the big YouTubers. I mean, Peter McKinnon is another YouTuber that I follow. He's not into tech or anything like that. Completely different videos. But I know one of the sayings that he has is "done is better than perfect," and it just shows you don't need the top kit, and you don't need all the money behind you. Just get something out there and start showing people your stuff, especially if you want to start.
Yeah, and like you said earlier in the show too, you said that you are able to overcome a lot of challenges by, keeping your end goal in sight. And a lot of what I've been learning lately for myself too has what I call tunnel vision, which is the exact same thing. And I think that for a lot of people now, starting is so scary because you're the only person who has that end goal in sight at first, and you're the only person who can see what you think this is going to evolve into. And so combating all of that worry and that anxiety and that fear, and then combating what everyone around you is telling you about it and what their idea is and what you should do, that can all really, really deter you from that end goal. And then that's where excuses come into play. But then the long picture of that is regret. because when you're 80 years old, you don't have much time anymore to fulfill what you wanted in that life. So it's just really encouraging to see you kind of step out and decide that, if other people can do this, why can't I? Like Nick Gatti is going to be the next biggest tech reviewer and networking guru that I see on YouTube. And I just know that that's true.
Thank you very much. Fingers crossed, eh?
So we are, I can't wait to get out to England. Let's talk about, where were you born and where do you live now? Give us a little rundown on kind of where you're from. Give people an idea of what it's like where you're from. Because I know I only have probably 4 listeners that are from outside the US, and they may have only listened for a couple minutes. So.
Right, okay, no. Well, I'm born and raised in a place called the Wirral, which it's a little peninsula between Wales and Liverpool. It's very small, very compact. Probably about 15 miles across the whole thing.
Wow!
And this is pretty much where I've lived my whole life. With my family, all my family live in the area as well. But yeah, it's pretty simple to be honest. It's all sort of like the suburbs.
So what is that?
Cities or anything like that.
What does everybody think about what you're doing with that tech thing that might not understand tech, or might not be as up to speed with how our phones are and how the internet is developing and things like that?
What people around here, to be honest, I've not told a lot of people what I'm doing. My family obviously all know what I'm doing. They're all very supportive. And the only other people who sort of know about it are the people that I work with in the office that I work with. And again, they've been massively supportive. They don't 100% get it. So they're all a little bit older than myself, just a bit, because they're probably listening to this.
That's okay. They'll get it one day, I promise.
Even though they don't 100% get it, they're really supportive of it.
That's amazing. And that's the beautiful thing, because in your head, that one day they will understand what you were doing. And it kind of gives you the faith to just keep grinding on. That's, for me especially, it's so comforting. Not comforting, but when I call home or when I talk to a close friend and I'm explaining just all these things left and right, all these things I have in my head, all these things I'm doing. And, they're just sitting there like, ugh, I think my friend's lost it, kind of, or where's his head at? I just get that feeling sometimes, but it's okay, because deep down I'm like, yeah, they'll have this excitement in 20 years with me,
yeah,
and they'll understand it all then. So yeah, that's what kind of keeps me going, working till 1 and 2 in the morning on my phone as well. I wanted to ask you, before we wrap up the show, I know you said you're an Everton fan, football fan. For any soccer fans out there, are you there?
Yeah, sorry, you broke up there, but yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm an Everton fan when they're doing well. Anyway.
When they're doing so, a Liverpool fan all the other times.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, okay, good. So any football fans out there, we got an Everton fan on the show. I want to hear if anybody has any issues with that. Don't be picking on my man, Nick. All right, so we want to wrap up the show. I always try to get a quote out of everybody. Nick has a quote that I know a lot of people might have heard, but I think it just has so much more meaning to it than just what's up on the front layer. But Nick, I'll let you kind of close it out with your quote, because I love it, and then we'll be on our way.
Okay, yeah. Well, the quote, which is a bit weird that I'm from England and this is my favourite quote. I think it's from Wayne Gretzky, and it is, "You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take." And anytime I'm a little bit sort of nervous or apprehensive about doing anything, or pitching for something in work, or trying to do something for the channel, I just think if I don't do it, I'm 100% going to fail. So I might as well have a go.
I love it. I think when you chuckled about your vision board having a car on there, I didn't chuckle. Yeah. I didn't chuckle. The first question I asked was, "What kind of car was it?"
Oh, right, Land Rover, Range Rover. That's it this week anyway. It might change next week if I see something.
I think that's something that we all need to try to do more, is to have, it might not be an actual vision board, but we need to keep that vision for ourselves and understand that, are we really fulfilled in life. A lot of my followers, a lot of my viewers are only in their 20s, you know, some in their 30s. And I think we need to realize how much time we actually have here on earth to go out and accomplish things. So, Nick, I give you all my support. I understand to the core what you're doing. And I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your Sunday evening to be with me on my Sunday morning.
Not a problem, honestly. Thank you so much. It's a massive pleasure, honestly. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast.
Thanks so much, Nick. We're going to get that tech thing shared to the world. Everybody that's listened to this point, thank you so much for tuning in. If you stayed with Nick and I this whole episode, you are ready for change. Go grab life. And if anybody tries to tell you that what you're doing isn't going to succeed, I want you to come talk to me. This has been another great episode of the Kyle Hartman Project. Tune in next week where we talk to Finn Books, one of my new partners with Hartman Media. Thanks and have a great day.